Yo, we have a very exciting and important week ahead here in Cosmos, Atom, Osmosis, Juno Network, and many other chains that are in the broader Cosmos ecosystem. And if you want to learn and stay up to date about all things Cosmos, Superfluid staking, which is what I'm going to be talking about today as well, comparing it to liquid staking, then make sure to number 1, subscribe to this YouTube channel, number 2, like, share this with 1 or 2 friends on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, wherever you want. Number 3, also make sure to watch the entire thing. First things first, let's look into the prices. We just had a weekly close yesterday where Bitcoin just touched upon 50K, stayed above 50K, but now has been rejected again. It's below $50,000. Ethereum hovering around the 4K mark, and altcoins have been going down over the past few weeks a lot. So we're right now in a slightly bearish or sideways phase. Personally, I'm not concerned at all. The key in crypto is that you have to be around for those few weeks if you really want to make money in this industry, where everything is going crazy, right? The rest of the year is pretty boring or sideways or going down in terms of prices, but not in terms of development, right? So you have to separate the two. You have to look at what's being built, and then the price action will sooner or later catch up with that, right? So that's why personally I'm beyond bullish still on Cosmos at $23. I've been bullish on it since $10, $12, $13, and I'm still extremely bullish on it as of today. I know we haven't seen this crazy run that everybody is waiting for, but if you look at the charts right now, we are 47% below all-time high. This is definitely a much better entry than having bought in September at $44, right? And I believe Cosmos has a lot of room to grow. Atom as the coin, there's a lot of huge use cases that will lift the value of Atom as adoption of IBC, for example, grows, or adoption of Cosmos technology in the first place, right? Talking about IBC routing and interchain security. But I've covered this extensively also on my stream with Liam recently. So we'll not waste a lot of time on that today. But anyway, if people tell you that, oh, Cosmos Atom has no real role or no real value accrual in the space, then you can direct them to my channel, and hopefully they will learn that that's not the case, right? At least in the mid-long term, that's going to be resolved. One coin that I want to talk about mostly today, however, is still on page 2, which is crazy, but that's Osmosis, right? Osmosis sitting at $4.52 right now. It has a market cap fully diluted of $4.5 billion and a circulating value of 1.1 billion. Total supply, max supply as of now is 1 billion coins, and currently 244 million are in circulation. However, we have a major event coming this week, since the major airdrop that was for Atom stakers and holders with the rollout of Osmosis, the OSMO airdrop, is now being completed, right? So now there's not going to be any chance for anybody to claim their airdrop anymore. The time is over. That 6 months have passed. Those who haven't claimed it, well, they completely missed out on an amazing product. And shockingly, it's only 24 million Osmo that were claimed out of the eligible 50 million Osmo, right? So this is absolutely crazy. And now we have 25, 26 million Osmo that the community is going to decide what will happen with these. Right? And if we multiply this number with the current Osmo price, let's say 25 million, we are coming out at 130,500,000 US dollars, which is an absolutely insane number. So this money is being added now back to the Osmosis pool, and we'll look into this proposal in a second. But first of all, I wanted to talk about this week, right? So first of all, go follow Cosmos Ecosystem at Cosmos Ecosystem. They're sharing a lot of statistics, a lot of updates about what's going on in Cosmos. And we have the Vega upgrade that is coming actually on the 14th. So early morning tomorrow. This is going to bring the first step for IBC routing, in which transactions for newer chains or other Cosmos chains can be routed through the Cosmos Hub, which then eventually will pay a fee for it that is beneficial for Atom stakers and the Atom value accrual, right? So what does this mean to you in that context? In that context, that means whenever we have major upgrades, right? We had the Stargate upgrade in February 18th. Some projects, or even the project itself, takes this state for potential reward for their own community, right? Or for bootstrapping liquidity and users for another project. So that's why it's important to always hold your coins, in that case, your atoms, in self-custody on your own wallet. I remember Kepler, you can also use Ledger, you can also use both in connection, and just stake most of them natively on the chain, avoid centralized exchanges, avoid 0% commission validators, avoid probably validators out of the top 5 or top 10 to incentivize and to like contribute to decentralizing and securing the network. And you should be good to maximize your eligibility to potential airdrops or any sort of benefit that comes back, right? So this is an important upgrade. Also this week, we have Kava that is now on track to implement IBC as well. They're going to make an AMA. They also have a massive social campaign going on where people can win a lot of money. And also Loom Network, the Loom coin is going live on mainnet on the 14th, right? So that's only tomorrow, right? So please be on track with that. There's also going to be a massive stake drop plus a massive HODL drop, LP drop for Osmo stakers, Osmo LPs. I made a tweet about this here. So yeah, check Loom Network out. Also, exciting project that is going live, and I'll also have them very soon here on my channel. On the 15th, we have the Boron upgrade, which is kind of like subsequent to the Vega upgrade, because this upgrade implements also changes to or updates to the Cosmos SDK, right? So all the other chains are also upgrading if they want to do that. And if you look here in the Osmosis governance, you can see what this upgrade contains. One of the most exciting, especially for the community, one of the most exciting implementation is proposal 32, right? Which means to claw back unclaimed Osmo and Ion on airdrop end date, right? So this just basically means, hey, let's claw them back. Let's reuse them somehow, but we don't know yet how we're going to use them, right? And if you look here at details of the proposal, which was back then, here was the original idea to just ask, hey, should we claw them back? Should we reuse them somehow, right? We don't know yet how, but we'll figure it out. But then proposal 96 came out, which is an extremely controversial proposal, which basically says, hey, let's distribute all the clawed back ions and Osmo to Osmo stakers, right? So that's obviously something that, you know, who doesn't like free money? We get a second airdrop of Osmo and Ion, but distributing all at once also bears the risk that we could harm the price, right? Because obviously now Osmo is liquid. We have bootstrapped the user base, activity, IBC transfers, all these kind of things. But if you have potentially $120 million worth of sell pressure from one day to another, I'm not sure if that's very, very good for the project, right? And potentially even much more, because a lot of ions have not been claimed, right? So Ion is going to be another giant, at least in dollar terms, value that is being clawed back. But I think this is a hefty amount of money that, you know, could mean a lot of sell pressure and then drag down the price of Osmo, which is something that we don't want, right? We want this product to slowly roll out and to slowly gain more and more adoption. And at one point, if it has billions in trading volume and all these kind of things, then you can say, hey, you know, if somebody sells $100 million worth of Osmo, it doesn't really affect the price, right? It's just like Bitcoin today or even Ethereum, right? It's super liquid and super deep liquidity as well. But anyways, speaking of super, I wanted to talk about one very important thing that everybody should understand when you're kind of like evaluating and staying up to date with Osmosis, right? And that is superfluid staking. So I think it's important to bring this up now to understand also what makes Osmosis so different to other platforms out there, right? And I will try to explain it very short and in very simple terms, and also in analogy to liquid staking, which is another concept that DeFi users enables DeFi users to earn additional yield. What liquid staking is doing, let's start with that one. Liquid staking basically liquefies your staked asset, right? We've seen P-Stake being the pioneer in that field, by the Persistence One team. P-Stake basically means you can go on their platform, you can bring liquid atom to that platform, then you stake them through P-Stake. In the backend, those atoms get distributed actually on chain to real validators on the Cosmos chain, right, on the Cosmos hub. But then in return, you get a staked representation on the Ethereum chain, not on the Cosmos chain, but on the Ethereum chain of that staked atom, right? Which is programmed in a way that it accrues value against atom and basically simulates that interest that is being staked. I think right now it's fixed at 7%, even though the staking rewards are a bit higher. But I think they also have to have a sort of buffer to, like, you know, prevent any sort of like security risk or anything that could under collateralize the whole protocol, the whole system. But basically that's what it is. And then you can go ahead, take your STK asset. They started with Atom, persistence as well, expertise now there. And there's going to be many others, right? So imagine you have all your staked coins from the Cosmos ecosystem, and you can provide them as liquidity on SushiSwap, which is where it's right now. There's already a pool for it, right? You can provide your STK Atom and your ETH on Ethereum on SushiSwap as liquidity, and there will be a reverse airdrop for that. So that's how they incentivize it. However, especially about this sort of design, the downside is that you don't have the benefits of Tendermint, right, and IBC, right, because now we're in Ethereum. I have been on the Twitter spaces though of pStake. They will implement also IBC. I think in Q1 next year. I don't recall exactly what they said. I think early next year. And then you also have STK assets on Osmosis, right? You can provide liquidity, for example, with your STK asset. So that's kind of like the version. First, you stake, and second, you can do DeFi. You can yield farm. You can provide liquidity, right? That's liquid staking. Superfluid staking basically turns this around, and now first that you do is you provide liquidity, and then you get an LP token, which you then can stake on chain, right? The downside or the risk of that I'm seeing here, and I don't know if that's already being resolved or what's the kind of like design intention for that, is to prevent, or how do you calculate the impermanent loss, right? Because if you provide liquidity with two coins, right, with a pair, one of the coins is going to outperform the other, so there's less coins in the pool. So how do you make sure that you have a, I don't know, reserve ratio or whatever you want to call it, that prevents impermanent loss, or at least mitigates it, right? That's why the high APRs on Osmosis, also to kind of like balance that out from a user perspective. But I don't know how to balance it out on a protocol perspective. I guess we have to wait and see. But anyways, that's the reverse of it, so that you can provide security to the chain after you provide liquidity. Basically, the staking protocol would accept a different form of collateral, right? And then through IBC, you can even think this further, and you can say, hey, instead of just providing liquidity for Osmosis, just staking Osmosis with my LP token, I can actually stake both of the coins, right, natively on both chains through IBC. In that way, you would earn LP rewards, and you would also earn staking rewards, right? Plus, you would secure the chain. You would be incentivized to secure the chain, which is something that is currently not possible, right? Anyways, I hope this helps to understand Superfluid staking. I have this deal with Sunny that if it doesn't get delivered by the end of February, then he has to shave his hair, his head bald. So let's see if that's going to happen. I hope it ships fast, but I also hope that, you know, I would like to see Sunny bald. So let's see. And lastly, before we go, I wanted to share with you that we will have a Twitter Spaces today at 6:10 p.m. UTC, hosted by Nimbase, and I will also be there. So what we'll do there is to talk about the upcoming Moneta upgrade, which is going down in 2 days, right? So that's something really exciting for the Juno community. I'm also a big fan running a validator there also with Stakecito, and also hold a bunch of Junos. So I'm really excited to see more utility coming there, and all the dApps going live on Juno, right? We have Juno Mint, we have Juno Swap, the Juno DEX is coming to life, and a lot of other things also with Strangeclan, that they're building an NFT marketplace on top of Juno, right? So really exciting stuff. And also tune in to my interview with Lex Avellino, who is the founder or co-founder over at Strangeclan, right? So we'll have an interview at 2 p.m. EST, which is basically 7 p.m. So right after the Juno Twitter Spaces, we'll have the Strangeclan interview going on. It's actually the first time, even though I had a couple of calls with Lex, this is the first time that we actually talk about this on my channel. And he says there will be alpha, hashtag YAWP. Let's see what that means. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. And yeah, if you see also other people talking about Twitter, about which coin they're mostly interested in, which coin is most excited, and also content creators that are covering certain topics, please share my profile, share my link to my YouTube channel to help spread the word about Cosmos, IBC, Osmosis, all these kind of things. I think it's very important, and I think it's also very crucial to understand. So that said, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Stay safe and be good.